Welcome everybody. This is my iPhone 6s Plus review. It is that time of year again where we get our annual dose of iPhones. This just came out on September 25th. If you tuned in, you saw that I did a 4K video and photo test on it. And I also did a live unboxing. I pre-ordered this phone on September 12th at 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get my early delivery for the 25th. It did arrive on time. And we're going to go over some of the stuff today. We're actually going to go over, this is going to be a quick review and first impressions, because me, truthfully, I believe that when you review a phone, you should at least have it for a couple months. That's when you really know an accurate review. A lot of these people try to rush reviews out. Listen, in my personal opinion, the more time you use with a phone, the more you understand it, and the more that you see things that happen with it, and whatever bugs or whatever enhancements, you find that over time as you use it as your daily driver. But I'm going to give you guys an impression of what I think of this phone so far, and probably a follow-up video in a few months from now, a living with the iPhone, I will call it, as I usually do with the iPads. But right out of the gate, we're going to talk about specs, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over each of the specs in a little bit more detail and tell you, of course, my experience with them, because it's all about the user experience with these personal devices. So, the iPhone 6s Plus, it was announced September 25th. It has the Touch ID second generation fingerprint sensor, which I can say is super fast. Sometimes when the actual phone goes into the lock screen, you don't even see the lock screen. It goes right into the home screen. Wow. So, I mean, a lot faster than last year's, if I'm comparing it to last year's iPhone 6 and 6 Plus, and also previous versions of the iPhone with Touch ID, such as the 5S. Okay, the resolution is pretty much the same. It's a 1080 by 1920 Retina pixels, 401 ppi pixel density. It is now boasting a multi-touch, what they're calling 3D touch, or you would know as Force Touch, where you can actually have a tactile feedback, and each app does different things. Now, right now, I'm going to say it's mostly first party. You're going to start seeing third-party apps start to roll this over as they update their apps and take advantage of the phone. I guarantee within a few weeks from now, you're going to see all the big apps already doing this. They already started. As far as first-party apps, we have with the phone here. If I hold the phone down, I have my favorites come up. That's cool. You can set that. Photos has it. You can do most recent favorite search. The camera has it. If you hold down, you have take selfie, record video, slow motion, take photo. So that's pretty cool. And Apple is calling this peek and pop. So when you hold down the app, it gives you a list of options, and then if you hold down harder a second time, it will actually go into that option or that app. Instagram is using it already, so they're on the ball. And Twitter is using it already. They're on the ball. Like I said, you're going to see more and more third-party apps take advantage of this. When I first saw it, I said, that's kind of neat. It's a really, neat feature that's really going to set the future of these new phones. But how much am I going to use it? Already in the past few days of using this phone, I've actually been using it quite a bit. So that's pretty neat. I'll actually show you. You got, of course, the new app switcher, because we are using iOS 9. It comes factory installed. It's actually 9.0.1 right now, and they are working on a 9.1 beta that fixes a lot of issues. I haven't had any of the issues right now. But what's cool is, like I said, if you go to Mail, Mail takes full advantage of Touch ID, a 3D Touch also. So you got the email, then you don't have to go into the email. But if you want to, you can hit it, and then it'll go right into the link if you want. We'll exit out of there. So that's pretty neat. So that's 3D multi-touch, they're calling it. Or as the MacBooks had, Force Touch. So pretty neat. Like I said, I can't wait to see what apps do with that in the future. It does have the Apple A9 dual-core 1.8 gigahertz processor, as opposed to the Apple A8 last year. I will have to say, this is a killer phone for speed. Let me tell you. To me, this is actually a bigger step from the 6, No, yeah, this is actually a bigger step from the 6 to the 6S, as I think the 5S to the 6 was. Of course, except for introducing the phablet screen with the iPhone 6 Plus. But other than that, as far as actual speed, I think this is a big jump. I think this is one of the biggest jumps for speed. The benchmarks that I've been doing with the benchmark tests have been absolutely phenomenal. I mean, this thing is fast as like an older MacBook or an actual faster computer. I really find this to be snappy. I find there's very little lag or little stuttering. I do some high-end photography, Photoshop, and Lightroom stuff on here, and editing, and some high-end games. Really snappy, really fast, nice and fluent. Again, like I said, with the pixel density of the screen, it's fantastic. I think it's really good for the human eye. I mean, how much more could you really see? It has the 4K video. We actually did a test. If you go back to my couple videos before this, the same day as the phone came out, I did a 4K test where I walked around with the camera. It does really good. It has the 30 frames per second slow motion, which is really cool. And also, this phone has another new feature that's built into the 6S and 6S Plus, and that's called Living Photos. And the best way that I could describe this is to show you what it does is it takes a regular JPEG image, and it's actually double the size of a regular JPEG image, so it's not too bad. But what happens is it does a few seconds before the shot and a few seconds after, almost like a GIF, if you will, an animated GIF. And I'm going to show you here. This is wallpaper. This is actually a beta fish. See how it's moving? And then when you hold it, it'll do a little animation, and then it'll go right back. Now you can take these yourself, and not only can you take them yourself, but you can also set them as wallpaper. So for a good example, what I did was I went to a local waterfall by me, and I did it as a waterfall, and of course you can see the water moving. And then it goes back. And like I said, you can set that for your wallpaper. And then I did a picture of my dog Mario, my little Jack Russell. And you see he's moving. And all that is that's a still image. And it's only, the capacity size is only double. So each living photo is 2 JPEGs. Not too bad. Again, here's the photos, the regular still photos for the quality of the camera. Another big feature of this phone is it is boasting a 12 megapixel camera and a 5 megapixel front-facing camera. Very, very good. To me, no matter what the megapixels were of iPhones, I always found the iPhones to be excellent, excellent, excellent quality. You're really getting a high-end camera with an iPhone. I know some of these other phones, they're 16 megapixel, 15, 14 megapixel. To me, megapixel is only one step of getting a great image. It's about quality. It's about low light. This camera performs great in low light. Very little noise, very little grain. Nice and sharp. You can blow them up really big. 12 megapixel step up from last year's 8 megapixels. So that's a pretty big jump. And of course, the front-facing camera is 5 megapixel. So really, really good. And I really think that the camera is a big step in the right direction. This is now boasting 2 gigabytes of RAM as opposed to 1. That's pretty decent for a phone. I really don't see this phone using anything more than that. 2 gig of RAM really snaps this phone really quick and snappy and fast. I was doing real-time racing the other day. I was doing Asphalt. I was playing BioShock on here, the first BioShock. I was doing the Call of Duty Zombies and other heavy, intense games. Photoshop, editing. 2 gigabytes is great RAM for this. It's very fast. Believe you me, I used a lot of phones in my day. This is definitely a faster phone. 100%. Check it on my cheat sheets here, so make sure I don't miss nothing. Of course, it doesn't have a memory card, so it doesn't have removable battery, the standard fare from Apple. It has the vibration, it has the tactile feedback, like I said, especially when you use the 3D touch. You can definitely feel it. It's pretty neat. Lets you know that that the phone is working there, or whatever you're trying to do to the phone. And you got your Wi-Fi, you got all that. As far as talk time, standby, they're saying up to 384 hours. Talk time, they're saying up to 24 hours. and music play, they're saying up to 80 hours. And you got your colors, you got your standard colors, you got space gray, silver, gold, and now, for the first time, it's actually come out in rose gold, which seems to be the hype right now. I got a clear case on this, so it's a really nice case from Amazon. It doesn't add a lot of bulk. You can actually see the back of the phone, so that's cool. And most cases from the 6 and 6S, from the 6 and 6 Plus will work on the 6S and 6S Plus. Especially softer cases. I found the hard ones sometimes don't fit. It's just a hairline thicker and heavier. Oh, it definitely has more grams. I think they said it's a 14-gram difference from the last phone, but it still feels fine. It's still not, completely heavy where you don't want to hold a phone. It feels nice in the hand. You definitely get used to it. If you're used to phablet phones and you like the big screen, you're definitely going to like the 6S Plus. As opposed to the 6S, you're getting a little bit better battery life, you're getting image stabilization, a little bit of a better camera. And as far as the build quality, they made this a lot more durable than last year. I saw a lot of people on here doing bend tests and drop tests. It's definitely more durable than the last iteration of the phone. Like I said, you got the 5.5-inch phablet screen. It's come standard to iOS 9. It is up to 9.0.1. They are working on a 9.1 right now. And I'm absolutely loving the 12 megapixel camera. I've been trying to do a lot of tests with it. The 4K video does seem really cool. What I do is I use a program called Adobe Lightroom to sync my apps, to sync my videos and photos. I can blow them up nice and work on them in Photoshop. And the pictures look really good. A camera is really important to me. Of course, I got my Canon 7D sitting over there. But it's always nice to have a little backup camera, especially when I'm scouting a location for a big shoot. And really cool. Of course, with iOS and with the Apple, you have a really great range of awesome apps. A lot of people are saying to me, Sean, should I upgrade? It would be a disservice for me to tell somebody yes or no. I have no idea. There's so many factors in that. First of all, what phone are you upgrading from? What daily things do you do? What are you looking at of a phone? What is your main function when you use a smartphone? The answer could be yes, the answer could be no. Are you switching from a very older phone? If so, then 100% definitely. And if you're switching from last year's phone, there's a lot of things to think about. I absolutely think just in the speed and the camera and the 3D touch and living photos and a lot of cool stuff like that, it wouldn't be a bad upgrade at all. I mean, if you didn't upgrade, I can't say that's a bad thing, and if you did upgrade, I couldn't say that's a bad thing. So it's really up to you. If you're coming from Android and you're thinking about switching over to Apple, great time to do it. If you have an older phone like the 4 or 5S or whatever, excellent time. If you're not on a 2-year contract and you have the 6 and 6 Plus, it's definitely something to think about. I really run these phones into the ground, especially before I do a review or first impressions, and I'm going to be still doing that for the months to come. So far, I can't complain. You can't call me an Apple fanboy, even though I've been with Apple since the very beginning, way before they were in the mobile space. I've been with Android. I just switched from an Android, a Galaxy S5. I like to switch back and forth. I try all the operating systems out. I tried the Blackberries. I tried the Windows phones. I tried the Surface. I tried the iPad. I love software. I don't really care too much about hardware. I'm into software. So whatever platform I can get that piece of software on, that's the hardware that I'm going to buy. So I've tried them all. And I got to say, I am very impressed with this phone. It's a very nice phone. Yeah, it doesn't do all the crazy things Android does. A lot of times you don't need any of that. You just need a simple interface, a simple UI, a phone that does what you want, takes great pictures, has amazing build quality. You can't doubt, whether you like Apple or not, that their customer service and their build quality is top-notch. People always say in the comments, oh, you're buying it because of the logo, for the brand. Of course you are. You know why? That brand didn't stick itself on there and say, buy me. It had a reputation. It had a history. And people see that, and then that's what I can never understand. People say, oh, you're buying it because of the logo. Sure you are. Because you know that you're getting a great quality product from the history of Apple and the past phones. If something had a brand or a logo that was a bad company, everybody would stay clear of that. So it's a quality product. Apple always comes out with great products. It might not be exactly what you're looking for. Like I said, you got to take that into fact. Everybody asks me. Everybody's been asking me on Twitter, should I go out and buy the phone? Like I said, a disservice to tell you one way or the other. You got to be, you have to really be the judge of that yourself. See how you can also hold the corner down. You can do the multitasking, and you can go right into the next number there. Pretty neat. Or the next app, whatever you have behind it. Really snappy. Like I said, I mean, look how fast, you got really nice CPU in there. If you're into video games, if you're into, photography and heavy duty apps, this is definitely not going to stutter on you, and this is definitely going to, you're going to be happy with it. I tried so many different things on this, and, it's really cool. You should be able to do everything you want with a smartphone on this phone. Definitely. Let's check the notes, make sure I didn't go over anything, did not go over anything. I don't think so. I think we pretty much covered everything. We did the living photos, we did the 3D touch, showed you a couple features of iOS 9. Oh, one more thing, almost forgot. Now, you don't have to activate Siri with the home button. You can actually activate it with your voice. It learns your voice. It will only go on with your voice. And also, unlike the past, you don't have to have the phone plugged in. You could do this anywhere. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. What was the New York Giants score?
The Giants bested the Redskins by a score of 32-21 last Thursday.
Hell yeah! Go Big Blue, G-Men! But anyway, so that's pretty neat. So that comes in handy. It's nice to have Siri, with your voice and all that, and that's pretty cool. Like I said, I love the new 3D touch. I'm mixing things together. The new Touch ID, second generation, really cool. I mean, look how fast that is. I remember the last one, you had to wait a few seconds. This is like, boom. It's funny, too, because sometimes I'll turn the phone on, it'll be in the lock screen, I won't even see the lock screen, I'll put my thumb on it, and boom, it goes right to the home screen. That's awesome. So really fast, really nice phone, love the display, love the new 3D touch. I think those features are cool. Like I said, I think apps are going to really start to take advantage of this. We already see Twitter doing it, we already see Instagram. Only more and more apps are going to start doing that, and putting their ideas into Apple's ideas and saying, hey, look, we could do this with our app. We could do this with, this game, or especially with games. Could you imagine how cool 3D Touch will be with certain games? That'd be awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely going to have a follow-up video to this because I think there is a lot of things to talk about that we don't really know about yet. The phone is only a few days old. I'm going to be finding out more things about this phone, and and the app developers are going to be taking advantage of this phone. So only time will tell, but I do see big things in the future, and I do see newer versions of the iPhone, building on that, basically, on this foundation. So very, very cool. Glad I could bring this to you guys. I hope I did good. I tried my best. Like I said, I've just been using it a lot. I've been messing with it, and I'm looking forward to getting back to you guys to finding out what other new things I find out with this phone. And, of course, future versions of iOS also. Take care, everybody, and I will see you on the next review and tech video. Probably what's on my iPhone 6s Plus is in the works. I have quite a few apps I'd like to share with you guys. Take care, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.